So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Sue Suh, and I'm the program manager at the Asia Democracy Network. And I'm mostly responsible for implementing and managing the secretariat here in South Korea. And to kind of explain what the Asia Democracy Network does, we're a regional network of networks. So what that means is we have members who are networks across Asia that work on human rights, elections, migrants, minority rights, all these different thematic sectors. And all these different thematic sector networks are our members. And it's a network of network under the umbrella of democracy. What we do is break down silos and really work together to advocate and promote democracy in Asia. So I grew up in the United States, and I've only been in Korea for about 8-9 years. So I can't fully understand all dynamics of Korean society, but based on my time here and my observations and observations through the work that I do, which is implementing advocacy campaigns and for Asia issues. What I found was, I think there's a lack of understanding for, democracy promotion by Koreans. And the reason being is when you hear about international advocacy in Korea, it's mostly development corporation. So we see a lot of, the Korean people are not exposed to advocacy or international campaigns. Rather, when it comes to international solidarity, it only boils down to providing infrastructure assistance, creating roads and infrastructure inside countries in Asia. So I think that's a big reason why. And also there's a huge lack of funding for civil society in Korea to work on international solidarity work. So it's hard for them to engage in campaigns to do democracy promotion or international solidarity because they just don't have the access to funds to it. And lastly, the most thing that I see that it lacks is there's not enough education on democracy and human rights among the general public. So when people are asked about human rights or democracy about other countries or Korea, they shy away from it because it's such a very difficult topic. It comes to them as something very difficult to understand, very foreign. So I think it's a lack of education there that brings people not to be very engaged in the issues. Korea has such a rich history of democracy movements, starting from way back from the Donghak Revolution, the Gwangju Uprising, the 1987 democracy movement, and even recently, a couple of years ago, the Candlelight movement. Korea has such a rich story and narrative about how the people came together to fight for their rights. And that is something, and all those revolutions and movements are relevant today in other parts of Asia. And a lot of places like Hong Kong, Cambodia, Indonesia, they're all going through these movements now. And Korea has that experience and rich history that could be shared throughout the region and if not throughout the world. I think Korean youth are very passionate and they're very, I don't think they're apathetic. They are very well aware of the issues and want to be in solidarity with other movements and issues. but I think there's just not enough opportunity. So I see a very huge gap in connecting activists from Hong Kong, Cambodia, Philippines to the youth of Korea. So if there's more effort and opportunities given to youth in South Korea to connect with these other activists all across the world, I think the solidarity would be endless, would be great. So. I think this is such a great initiative about democracy storytelling that EAI is pursuing because, as I mentioned in my previous answer, Korea has such a great democracy story to tell, and a lot of activists in other countries right now really look towards Korea to gain knowledge from the experience. I remember, I worked, with the protests that broke out last year in Hong Kong, and one of the most requests that I received working at ADN was from Hong Kong activists wanting to learn more, wanting to connect with the activists of the Candlelight Revolution here in South Korea. And they wanted to learn how it was possible for Koreans to come together peacefully and protest for over 5-6 months and achieve what we achieved. So there's a lot of information to share and experience to share, and I think we should really work more on sharing our story and connecting with the activists in Asia to spread our knowledge. Thank you.